Greetings, brothers and sisters. I just want to reiterate that the high that you are looking for cannot be found in the world. Life is the high. Connection to God is the high. Consumption of substances, consumption of fun in the world, good times, pride, lust, fornication, all these things may come with a temporary rush in dopamine, temporary pleasure, temporary fun, but what they do is they take away from your connection to God. They take away from your overall high in life. They take away from your ability to be content with how you are currently. So remember these things. Don't introduce yourself to anything of this world for the purpose of fulfilling desire, for the purpose of getting high. Granted, you can enjoy the finer things in life. You can enjoy life the way that God designed it to be enjoyed. But if you are constantly chasing pleasure, you're constantly running after that pleasure fulfilling, then you are no longer present. And God is present. God isn't future, but what is future is when we are chasing something in the future. You're constantly pushing back, thinking, I'm going to reach this. You never reach that. You're like a mouse running on a treadmill towards a piece of cheese hanging there. You feel like you're getting somewhere. You might get a little nibble, but you're still constantly running towards that cheese. You're constantly running towards that pleasure. But with God, there is no treadmill. He's actually running towards us. He accepts us with open arms. If you ever feel like, man, I should change my ways. Man, I should delete this app. Man, I should quit talking to these people. I should quit masturbating. I should quit having sex outside of marriage. I should quit lying. I should quit doing these things. This is the direction of God. If you ever feel like a little guilt after you watch a website, then maybe you shouldn't do it no more. It's God telling you. It's God giving you signs of where to go. If you're feeling like, man, I'm really letting God down, run to Him. Close your eyes and pray to Him. Speak directly to God. He'll hear you. His presence is always after us. That's the amazing thing about God, is He wants us. He wants us to want Him. But we have to want Him. You don't want blessings. You shouldn't want God for blessings. You shouldn't want God for what He has to offer us. You should want Him just for Him. And that presence with God is otherworldly. There's nothing like it. The presence with God is fulfilled with peace. When you realize you don't have to do anything to receive salvation. You don't have to do anything but accept Jesus because He died for us willingly. His love for us is everlasting. But we have to want His love. We have to want Him. To want pleasure, to want to fulfill the pleasures of the mind, to fulfill your carnal desires. That works against your relationship with God. The more you feed your mind, the more you're building yourself into someone you are not. God knows us. He calls His sheep by name. He calls us by name. We don't even know how great that we could be through Him. We don't know the ways in which He uses us, or the ways in which He could use us. He knows the plans that he has for us. It's a verse in Jeremiah. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. And if he has plans for us, then why should we have plans for ourselves? Sure, God directs us and uses other people. There have been other people in my life that say, hey, are you going to become a preacher? Are you a preacher? Have you ever thought about preaching? You'd be a good preacher. God uses many ways. You'll know when God is directing you towards something because it'll just feel right. You'll get those hairs standing up on your skin when you're in that flow state, when you're in that zone with God. You're not thinking about doing it for yourself. You're doing it for others. And not even so you can expect something in return. You're doing it for the greater good of God. You're doing it for the greater good for the world. You're doing it for the purpose of good. You see, the world is a dark place, and it's affected by our actions. It's affected by the way that we coordinate ourselves. And if you can do something for the purpose of good, if you can be that light in the world, then you are making the world lighter. The world isn't something that's outside of our touch. We have an ability to have an impact on this world. We have the ability to build something and inspire. We have the ability to experience the finer things in life. But if you are stuck in a cycle of chasing pleasure and fulfilling the desires of your mind, you might never even reach the point of being able to do any of those things. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Maybe got a thing or two out of this, but just know, like, I'm glad you're existing. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you have something to offer in this world. Remember, you are not a product of this world, and you can be a product of the work of God. You are a creation of God. You are a child of God, and He has many plans for you to expand His kingdom. I love you guys.